What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. Back again with another live stream. Special guest in the building. My boy DG in the cut, Stephen Bergwijn is here live and direct. What are you saying, bro?
This guy, man, in the back of my head, I was just thinking, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. Then you looked at me. I knew what time it was, but I'm good, my guy. You saying?
No, I'm good, man. Do you know what, man? I had to get my New York Knicks jersey on. I was up late last night watching D-Block against Dipset, man.
That was lit still. Yeah. That was lit still. Jay reminding guys what he's on.
Yo, he dealt with them by himself. He didn't even need SP and Sheik with him, man.
Trust me. Like them man there, it's like they weren't prepared for it, man. I don't know what they thought. They just thought we'll play some people will love it in that eye. So yeah.
It's mad, isn't it? Because Dipset back in the day, man, all that pink and all that
wavy thing.
The image was helping them, but when it's a straight battle like that, all that image stuff don't mean nothing. It's just you and the microphone.
Exactly, charisma and them things, and that man, they got done, bro. You were up. You saw it. It was a good thing. Jada did his thing. He was on, bro. It's a master performance, man. It's up there with Neymar against PSG and that Barca comeback in that. It was a fantastic display from Jada. And
it was. I tell you what, as well, the fact that I like New York Knicks here, Arsenal and New York Knicks is a painful combination, man. They're basically like the Arsenal of basketball as well.
You sure know how to pick them, man.
Yeah, man, it's bad, bro. But listen, let's talk about Arsenal anyway.
Do we have to, bro?
I know, man. It's a shame, innit? Like, I could have done with neutral content today, man. But you know what? It was good to get you on here because obviously you went to the game on the weekend. I saw you putting pictures up and that. It looked like a good day out, but obviously on the pitch, it felt very much like last year, man. What was the feeling like, obviously, being back in the stadium and watching Arsenal? What was it like for you?
Obviously, fundamentally, no matter how our team displays and no matter what I say about it and you say about it, we all love to watch our clubs for better or worse. I mean, it was amazing. The atmosphere was there, speaking to the fans, everyone around the ground, it was fantastic, man. It reminds you why you love football, and it's how much we've missed it. And the players were very receptive. Granit Xhaka got a good reception, I felt, and he gave a good one back. Obviously, it's pre-season. So, yeah, man, it was great to be back there, man. Obviously, it's a shame about the result, but I'm sure we're going to speak about that.
Man, I mean, do you know what? Watching it on TV, it looked like a good atmosphere to say there was 25,000. It sounded quite loud and fans looked up for it.
By the Emirates, we were loud for the Emirates, and you know how quiet that can be. Yeah, when we was up for it. Like I said, the fans gave a good display. Everybody got love. Like I said, Xhaka got love. You always think that one, because of what happened, could be a bit sideways. Yeah. The new signings, Ben White got a fantastic reception, I felt, So, yeah, man, they did their thing. But, again, the result, microcosm of last season.
It felt like that to me. I sat there and I'm like, we've had all summer off. And I feel like I've just gone back in a time machine to like April. And I'm watching the Arsenal of last season. Nothing looked like it had changed. 2021. And I'm watching Arsenal with El Neni and Xhaka in midfield. And I'm like, what happened to this clear plan in May? What happened to we know what we're going to do? Like, it doesn't feel like anything's changed. Like, what did it feel like watching the team and seeing those same sort of mistakes?
I mean, it's how we felt all season. It's how we felt last season. It's at the point where I could say I feel anger. I feel, many of them sort of emotions, but it's like, it's not really affect you now because you know what's going to happen. It's like being at the ground. Like I had decent seats. So I was like literally watching the whole back line. So it's like you get to see who's talking, who's doing what. And I just got the vibe of nobody really trusted each other in possession. The one few players that were trusted in possession, they got read from what Chelsea were doing. There was a lot of fight. I felt we were in the game. But again, like you said, extreme naiveties defensively, open midfield, 6s and 7s in relation to our defenders. It seemed like everybody was trying to tell a next man about their job without really doing their own. And that's why, you're seeing situations like Marie against Werner on that sort of thing as well, my bro. It's a sense of, you got the vibe that players don't know players. It's like you played football. If me and you played football for an amount of time, you might clock, all right, I might be slow or weak in certain situations. So you might help me with that. And it's like, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, Holding's just charging into midfield. Chambers has gone too far up. You're leaving Werner and Marie in a foot race. It doesn't look good. Okay, the manager might have demanded you to do these things. So where I'm looking at Arteta to change things, but it was just naiveties. And if Chelsea had their shooting boots, it weren't one-sided, but Chelsea had their shooting boots, Werner and even Tammy, who scored. It could have been a gazy scoreline from what I saw there, man.
Crazy thing was, I think they were saying only 4 players started that game for Chelsea who played in the Champions League final. So, looking at our starting 11, that was pretty close to the team that's probably going to start against Brentford with Partey being injured now.
Yeah, and it sucks with Partey because, as you know, he's been having a great preseason. I felt he had a really good game in that game, and then it is what it is. And like you said, the lineup isn't going to be too dissimilar. Like there was a point. I looked at Arsenal's back five, including Leno in the second half, and I thought that's going to probably be it against Brentford, assuming he thinks Ben White is ready. White, Chambers, obviously. White, Chambers, Marie, and obviously Tierney. And it's like you said, nothing's really changed. It was quite naive in many aspects, man. But there were a couple positives. Like I said, the Partey one's gone. I think Ben White, he's quickly seen that. He's gonna have a lot to do defensively. You got to talk about getting thrown in at the thick of it, man.
What's your thoughts? Because I have a few debates with people, but what's your thoughts when people say it's only pre-season? Do you go along with that? Like, surely to me, you can't just turn form on and off. That is your preparation. Like, obviously, on the flip side, you can win all of pre-season, then lose. But, you need to see things that are taking you into the start of the season. And I'm not seeing too much.
I mean, you said it there, and that's the problem with Arsenal fans and the dynamic. It's like we fail to understand collectively as a fan base, two truths can live in the same realm, and there's two sides to a coin. I think both parties are right, not to sit on the fence in the sense of it is only preseason. You shouldn't just, get up in arms about the result. But again, I can't really add on to what you said in the sense of every game we've played needs to paint a piece of a puzzle. And so far, you've seen, not to just scapegoat Bellerin, but Bellerin made that mistake. It was El Nene against Watford. We cast our minds back to Scotland, set pieces, scenarios that kind of harmed us last year. I'm pretty sure I speak for every sane Arsenal fan when we're not expecting us to just turn it on, like you said, look amazing at the start of pre-season, but it's building blocks. Every game should take us closer to the final product and ready for Brentford. And bro, a week or so away from Brentford, are we ready? I'm sure they might feel they're ready. They're looking at their preparation, but us on the surface, are we ready? I think we all know the answer. We're just going to have to be ready. If we're not, it's a madness.
If you're Brentford right now, like if I'm the Brentford manager, I'm sitting there thinking Friday night, first game of the season, Thomas Partey's injured. Arsenal haven't really signed anybody that would scare you. They're going to think that they can beat Arsenal on Friday, aren't they? Like, I don't think they're going to be scared by Arsenal turning up.
Yeah, they shouldn't be scared, man, because away from Arsenal, you worked hard. You worked hard last season to get promoted into this division. And for me, whatever you say about championship players, I think of street smartness. And we always say Arsenal is naive across many aspects. So it's a bit like deers in the wild and there's hungry lions and hyenas about. So they should relish it, especially away from home. I personally hope Ben White and Lokonga play. I know Ben White's played in the Premier League, but he's been there a year. Obviously, Lokonga has not played in the Premier League. So if I'm Brentford, I want to give these guys a tough ask. I want to make it tough. I want the Arsenal negative headlines and the rest of it that happens, man. We're going to have a golden content when the documentary comes out, for the preparation of this season. It's going to be elite.
Do you know what? I was looking at Ben White during that second half, and obviously he made a couple like great clearances and that. But it looked to me like you're putting him into a mess. It just looked to me like you're going to become a part of that same defense that looks a mess with mistakes because the structure isn't there. We kept hearing last season the defense has got better and because we conceded less goals, but we lost 13 Premier League games. We might not have conceded as many, but we were losing more games. Like you're a defender. What do you see that's wrong with that structure of that defense? Like Rob Holding running into their half and leaving 30 yards of space behind it.
I just think many players are naive. And again, it's for Arteta to fix and stuff. But I just look around at these players. If they're not old in terms of age, they've played a lot of football respectively. And they're just naive. There's just certain things. It just feels a case of taking someone to the water, but they have to be the ones to ultimately drink it. Because it's sixes and sevens. Like I said, it's a bad cocktail of being naive anyways. Certain men are just not good defenders. As I said, the thing that pains me as a defender, is when someone isn't doing their job spot on and they're governing others and managing. It's like Hakim Ziyech in the middle of that park. He was having a good game on the ball, but off the ball, he's doing a lot of damage purely because no one in midfield's taking responsibility or defense. Nobody is saying mark your man and things. And I was impressed with Ben White because being close to the pitch, he's more. I'm not praising you for being a centre half and being vocal, bro, but he's extremely vocal. He's telling people certain things. So it just, that's the problem. Everybody is not. It's not a functioning unit. Marie is getting caught in a flat race. Holding is charging into midfield. Chambers is too high up, you know, and you're doing that against Chelsea. Now, they're great for possession and stuff, but what are they praised for, bro? That counter-attack. We're already playing a high line. So it's these sort of street smartness. I don't think Arteta, he has to, but I look at them and it feels like an impossible task. And you made a great point of people happy that we feel, you know, we're third for clean sheets. You know, it's something to build upon. But we, as I said then, and I'll say it now, are we the third best defensive team in the league? We're not. Is that a performance? It's not making sense, bro. And I just wanted to see it getting a little bit better. And I don't see that. Hopefully we do see it kick on in the league though, man. It's mad.
Let's hope so, man. A couple super chats. Mr. Pad says, Arteta sacked by Christmas and we're finishing 10th. I mean, listen, I hope both of them things are wrong, but I can understand why you feel that way at the moment. And big up Ands with a super chat. Much appreciated, bro. Said, just renewing my Arsenal therapy membership for 2021-22. Listen, that's wide open. It's free membership as well, man. Arsenal therapy every Monday.
Make sure you go and grab that off Curtis's channel.
I'm telling you, bro. That, you know what? I did that once as a joke, I think, and then it's just caught on every Monday now. So
keep doing it, man. You know, make that a show, bro.
I'm telling you,
recognized in that.
Off to work, we'll catch the rest later. Big up Deluded, yes, Hans. Big up, man. And listen, everyone, make sure you subscribe to Deluded. He's close to 40k. I have put the hyperlink in the description, but someone said it's not showing up, so I'll just have to I'll put the link to your page in the description below. No, you're close to 40k in it. Let's get you there.
Flirting with it, bro. Flirting with it, man.
Yeah, you need to take it out on a date and seal it. You know what I mean?
Now moving like the bridesmaid who doesn't quite become the wife, man. It's a big man.
Yeah, man's wearing the Knicks jersey, man. I'm a sucker for punishment, man. Do you know what I mean? Back in the day growing up, I was, you know, Arsenal, Thierry Henry, New York Knicks, Patrick Ewing. Things were good, man. But now times are real hard. But listen, let's look forward. Let's hope that the transfer market, we can find some sort of resolution in there. I was watching some of your video earlier as well.
Appreciate that, bro.
Talking about Maddison and Lautaro Martinez and things like that. We're getting excited by these names, but are Arsenal taking us down that Higuain, that Benzema, that Luis Suarez? Are we going down that road again where we think we're finding Luis Suarez, but actually we're getting Lucas Perez? Is this that road again? Like, to me, it feels like we've got an opportunity to sign Lautaro Martinez for some crazy reason. But I just don't know if Arsenal have got the minerals to go and get the deal done, man. What are you feeling about Martin?
I mean, the one thing about Arsenal, innit, it's like, because how we've been playing on the pitch, you can't really dream. So, again, when we're seeing these links, it entices us, same way we put all the love for the young players. So, obviously, I'd love it to happen. But as we know, until the fat lady sings, and as us Arsenal fans say now, we're at the point, until we see someone holding the shirt, I can't get gassed. You know, it feels like it's there. But then you look at our squad, you're like, yeah, you could grab Martinez. Do you need him more than you need to address that midfield? Because even if he comes, who's going to pass him the ball? I'm not saying you do or don't, because there's question marks over striker. And obviously, you're looking at Chelsea now. Seems like they're going for Lukaku. Inter just won the league. Are they going to let both of them go? I know they need money allegedly, and money talks. But if I won the league, you're not going to let both strikers go, are you? So it seems like we have a free run. But I don't know for Martinez and Maddison. Put the money down in it. Like, you hear he's oncoming, you hear personal terms aren't a thing. It just comes down to peas, bro. Simple as that.
It's a strange one. And obviously waking up this morning, checking out this Chelsea, it's saying Chelsea are going to come back with £100 million this time. And Alonso, it's saying that Lukaku says unfinished business. They're willing to give him nearly 300 grand a week. That deal could actually stop us getting Martinez, because like you said, they're not going to sell both strikers. So Arsenal have to act, because, you know, they're saying at the moment that Inter would rather sell Lautaro Martinez because, you know, believe it or not, he's never scored 20 goals in a season. So they probably think they can do without him and get through with Lukaku. But if the money's on the table, £100 million is difficult to turn down in a pandemic.
You're not turning it down.
They're not, are they?
It's not going nowhere, bro. Of course they're doing it. But it's like you said, if they'd rather sell Martinez, maybe obviously there was a lot of talk of once upon a time him going to Barca and City. They've kind of mentally made peace with the fact that he would leave this club, and they're just hoping, you know, Lukaku says he loves Italy and that it'd stay for a significant piece of time. I don't think they'll lose both of them, because we're forgetting they also sold Hakimi. Again, they won the league. And I'm sure, you know, you're going to need to have a half-decent team to play against Juventus and try and keep the league. So We'll have to see, man. But until the end of the window, I'll give the club a chance. But until I see shirts held in players' hands and contracts out, it's a myth.
I'm telling you, man. Abdul Razak said the Liga clubs bailed out today 3.2 billion. I mean, I saw something about that. I always knew, man. From when the King of Spain owned shares in Real Madrid, he ain't letting that league fall down the toilet. He's always he's going to pull money out of somewhere. You know, they've got the money. How good do you think Lautaro Martinez is? And like you said, if we buy him, whether people think Aubameyang is finished or not, you've got a £300,000 captain of the football club. You know, are you just going to bench him and bench Lacazette and play Lautaro? How would that even work if Arsenal were to get that deal done?
You'd need to move people on because, as you said, the wage structure, Aubameyang isn't cheap. Realistically, you know, he's not going to leave. No one's going to buy him. Anything can happen. Lacazette, apologies. There's been, you know, I have to assume there's been no offers for whatever reason. So you're going to have them. We've got the young Martinelli. It just feels like there's not enough game time. I know Martinelli, and I know people don't want to hear it, but Arteta probably will play Aubameyang out wide. So it's an issue. And that's another thing. You just said a great point. Are we going to sign Martinez until we can get rid of one? Because it's going to be congested. I personally think we're going to grab Tammy Abraham. I think we're going to see just a revolving door. Like they're going to get Lukaku, we're getting Tammy, bro. I know I set you off, but I literally think that's happening. 30 million euros allegedly as well.
Bro, I brought you on here to, you know, make us feel better.
I just think it just seems like that one's going to get done. As you said, they're not going to sell both their strikers. I don't want it to be the case, but boy.
Bro, I'm sorry, but like, you know, if that happens, which I can see that happening because I think Chelsea are going to get Lukaku. I just do. The offer's on the table, 100 million. He said he's got unfinished business. I can see it happening. They're then going to sell Abraham. Abraham apparently is already telling West Ham, no, he wants Arsenal. Arsenal like him for whatever reason. What does that actually say about Arsenal Football Club if they're buying Lukaku for 100 million and we're taking Tammy Abraham off them for 40 million? Are we only a big club now in history? This is why I put these men behind me because we're becoming a museum to me now.
I mean, it's looking like that, isn't it? It's like the only problem I would have with Tammy is I don't think he's the worst of players. It's not inspiring. It's not, like you said, you're looking at what other men are doing and whatever, but we just need to probably just make our peace with the situation. I'm not saying condone it. I'm not saying not be vocal, but like just kill all the talk of where we used to be. Just look at it for what it is, North London Red at this moment in time. Because this Emirates thing we're doing is different. So we just have to accept it, bro, and just not look at it the guise of what comparing it to the old standards. Just looking at it for now, bro. And I see them going for Tammy because they'll scream longevity and things. The only thing that really scares me of Tammy is you got several sort of players around his age and younger that we don't really see clearly improving or evident sort of pathways for how we're going to develop them. Then you're going to bring a next one into it. So it's not really making sense to me.
To me, if Chelsea buy Lukaku and we buy Tammy Abraham, I will actually move my mindset to where Arsenal are as a football club. I could be crazy for this anyway, but even though Arsenal finished like 8th and stuff like that, in my mind, I still see us as a big club who should be competing. If we sign Tammy Abraham, I will actually say, do you know what? Arsenal are a certified mid-table club. We are Aston Villa. I mean, Villa probably even going to go above us if this carries on. We're just mid-table fodder, mate. That's all we are now. Because that, to me, just says you're a joke of a club, mate. They're going and buying one of the top strikers in Europe, and we're buying a guy who they clearly want. He was their 4th choice striker last season. They were playing Havertz, Werner, Giroud, Tammy. Tammy didn't get in the England squad. Like, you're right. I can see him ending up at Arsenal. I can see it happening. It's got us written all over it.
Written all over it. Fully would be us, but I don't know, man. It's like, for me, I hear all the striker talk, and obviously, you know, there would be less strikers talk if our strikers were scoring, but ifs and buts are not facts, you know, they're not scoring. I personally more want to see midfield sorted out, man. Like, I want the strikers, don't get it twisted, but that midfield, man, it scares me. Like, it really does scare me what we're doing. And the fact that Xhaka is staying, not necessarily the fact that Xhaka is staying, you know my thoughts on him anyways. It's how much does that change the plan? Because he must have been saying, I'm staying. We're going to buy a centre mid. He's now come back and said, I'm switching things up. So like, are we going to go for 8? Are we going to go for a 10? How aggressive are we going to be? Do we actually know what we want? I'm shook, man.
Oh man, I mean, do you know what? You just mentioned Granit Xhaka there, so let's move on to him. I don't think we've spoke since it was announced, but obviously the situation with Roma wasn't concluded. 15 million euros, which I think is a bit of an embarrassing offer, but at the same time, sometimes I believe that it's more damaging to keep a player than it is to sell a player under value. You know, I think you're only protecting an asset by giving them a new contract if they're a valuable asset around Europe. Clearly, clubs don't want to buy Granit Xhaka. I read Granit Xhaka's new contract is £24.9 million over 4 years. To me, giving Granit Xhaka just under 25 million is worse than selling him for 15 million euros, in my opinion, and moving him on and bringing in someone better than him. What's your thoughts on, number one, Arsenal not selling Xhaka, but number two, giving him a new 4-year contract?
My thoughts on not selling him is kind of what I just said, bro, because it concerns me. It's like, you always get the vibe of, are we trying to move players on, or are they saying, yeah, I'll give it one more year, I'll change it up. What we hear in the media and actually what's facts can be two different things. But as a fan, we're led to believe a couple of players, Xhaka being one of them, wanted to go. Maybe he never wanted to go and the club wanted to force him out. I think he had his heart set on Rome. Cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I can't begrudge you for that. Jose Mourinho's there, all of those sort of things. He flirted in the Euros. So it's like, I'm looking at that, and we're more linked with eights and people that could play next to Partey. And I feel we need to revamp our midfield, even if Xhaka was going to stay. So it concerns me, the fact that he's now come out and said he's staying. What impact does that have? I do think we might take the safe option and not go for that guy for Partey now because Xhaka is there. And when I look at it, I might not think Xhaka is as vital as he shouldn't be as vital to the team as he is, even though I don't think he's as bad as people make out. In Arteta's head, he is, rightly or wrongly. He's probably one of the first names on the team sheet when you're looking past Tierney and Saka, just based on the amounts he plays and how the team tactically tries to run through him. So that tells me that you see him as a position of importance, bearing in mind Arteta convinced him to stay and he plays him all the time. So that tells me Arteta's doubling down. That tells me you still see him as what we're led to believe, and that he's a big character on and off the field and whatnot. So for me, it's a case of Arteta's made his bed, lying it. I don't think that new deal is given if Arteta doesn't sanction that, because you're the one that's going to be playing him. We can't give a 28-year-old a 4-year, 3-year, whatever it is, if you're not going to play him. So it concerns me because I don't think we're going to sign a brave player in that regard. Shout out to Lokonga and things like that, but we all probably thought we was going to see 2 of those areas. So I think we're just going to be a bit safe. Why we're giving him a new deal, personally, I don't know why. I don't, like you said, the value, I don't see it. I don't know why he's being given a new deal. I think if anything, you could have ran the next season and then look to have done that. But maybe Xhaka's demanding it, because I'm not going to lie. If I'm Xhaka, I am, because I'm playing all the time. You speak about me, I need a new deal. So, boy, it just the fact that I know we're probably not going to do what we need to do and make that brave decision in midfield, really and truly. So it scares me again, because I think that partner for Partey is needed. And if it isn't, bro, then Arteta's got to show me them existing options working.
Mr. Pads, big up with a super chat, said, Curtis, we got like 8 players on 1 year left. And this is the thing, I remember that interview with Sanelli where he was saying no one with value will be allowed to run down to a year. We're now sitting here with Lacazette, 11 months left on his contract, £50 million player. Why was a decision not made 12 months ago on Lacazette? Extend the deal or sell him with 2 years. Apparently they turned down.
Rejected Roma last year, innit?
Rejected, exactly. So it's like, on one hand, I think, okay, we're making progress. Tierney, Saka, Martinelli, Aubameyang, new contracts, Smith Rowe. But then on the flip side, you're like Eddie, Lacazette, El Neni. You're allowing players to just run down. I don't understand the decision with Granit Xhaka, because I get it from their point of view. In a sense, they're going to look at it and say, well, if you leave him with 2 years left, next year he probably rejects a deal and runs down his contract. So they've given him a longer deal. But to me, you give Granit Xhaka a 4-year deal, he isn't leaving the football club until that deal finishes, because nobody is buying Granit Xhaka on 120 grand a week with 4 years left on his deal. So he's going to be here until he's 32, 33. That to me makes no sense. I don't see him getting any better in his time at Arsenal. So I think Arteta's going to have a lot to answer for, because I agree with you. I don't see Arsenal buying a centre midfielder now.
Yeah, like actual number 8. I don't think we're going to do it. So I need to see that A, the Xhaka thing is working. B, the existing options are working. Or you bring in that 10 and you make it all work and we shut up, because that's all we want to see. I might question this decision, but give me no reason not to. Then we can't talk about it. And that's what scares me. And for me, I don't know, because Xhaka, even if Arteta's got the plans, Xhaka needs to get up to speed. He's been in the Euros. He hasn't been part of preseason. So there's several things in that regards. And I look at it, I don't believe that this new contract or Xhaka saying he wants to leave now. I don't think this was something done overnight. We must have known these rumblings in the months of the season closing. The same with Leno, the same with Bellerin. When you look at all of them, they are at, let's be real, remove emotion. They're at the stage where you might want to try a different thing and go somewhere else and try something. So it scares me. As I said at the start, you never get the vibe that we're making the decisions. It's these guys saying, should I go and stay? And that's what scares me. Even hearing Bellerin new deal, but there might not be no legs to that.
I mean, what do you think about that if that actually happens? I mean, why? It seems like Arsenal, the procedure is we sign you. If you don't do well and we can't sell you, we'll give you a new contract.
Part of the furniture.
Yeah, we'll just keep you in there. Like I said, that thing that Emmanuel Petit said, he said, if you hide in the shadows, you can just stay at this club for years under no pressure. Granit Xhaka could actually have a testimonial at Arsenal. 10 years of Granit Xhaka
against AFTV.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro. Granit Xhaka, man who get testimonials are meant to be club legends, like Tony Adams, 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Them, man. Granit Xhaka, bro, 10 years at Arsenal. To
be fair, you know what? He's got a couple FA Cups. Allow him a bit.
Yo, man. Sanogo's got an FA Cup. Boy.
Yeah, bring it to him, because I told you, North London Red, we're on different stuff, man. This ain't Arsenal again, bro.
Like, do you know what I mean? Will we be I won't be live streaming that one, I tell you. I'll take the night off that night. Bro, if this happens and Hector Bellerin, me and you was talking on your channel last week about Bellerin and Xhaka and this, that, the other. If Hector Bellerin gets a new contract, 4 years, like, I don't know where we go from that point. Look at it, man.
I'm deep in what you're saying, bro. Do you know what it is? I put myself in a spotlight where we're on mine or your channel and we're discussing this. And it's like, what is the valid reason? Like, there's no resale value there. Like, the one time we should have sold Bellerin is when the rest of Europe, remember there was a period we knew he was falling off, but the rest of Europe still thought it was levels. I swear there was a time where we could have just got a little 30-40 from Barca. It's gone now. We need to accept the fee that Roma gave up, we're trying to give us for Xhaka. We need to accept that for Bellerin and just keep it moving, because I'm not even trying to be harsh to Bellerin. It's like, you should be the Tierney of that right-hand side. You should be one of the best in the league. You're neither. I look at your actual way you play football, bro, and it's like the pace is regressed. It has regressed, sorry. Yeah. Obviously he's naive defensively in terms of his IQ. There's not a single facet you look at Bellerin and think he's good at. And I don't mind that. If you're average, just be consistent. You ain't got that. So he just needs to go, bro. And I don't get it, but it's the lads in Arteta's eyes, in my opinion. He likes Xhaka. Bellerin's he's done, innit? He lived in the same yard as him and all that.
Loves him. Son-in-law, man. He loves him. Big up D Guna with the super chat. I mean, Sakib said DG the GOAT, man. Yes, big up, man. Nah, man. And DJ Ashby said, big up Curtis and Deluded. It's my birthday today. I don't want to be depressed with Arsenal transfers. Happy birthday. I suggest stay off social media, man. There ain't nothing there for no one right now. If
Go enjoy the day, man.
Enjoy your day, man. Stay away from it. Nah, listen. Obviously, James Maddison, you were talking about there. Apparently, we've had this bid rejected. Then I think they're saying we offered something around 50 million and a player. They're kind of saying it was maybe Willock, Maitland-Niles. I'm seeing Eddie and Nelson. They clearly don't know, but they've probably given them an option of a few players. And Leicester probably said, just take them, man, away. We're not interested in none of them. Like, where do Arsenal go from here? Like, because this deal's out in the open now, they've got to try and make something happen for me. Like, I think you got to turn up with Maddison on your doorstep now.
Nah, man, bro, I hear you, but we've been here with allegedly Buendia. We definitely was here with Zaha. I don't know, bro. Like I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope we've got something up our sleeve. I hope after signing Ben White and negotiating with things, I think there's something. But again, bro, like you said, it comes down to the P's, man. It's the P's. And if I'm Leicester, I'm not accepting swapsies. Unless they genuinely want Joe, Maitland, or any of them, I'm not accepting it because, you know, these guys haven't necessarily excelled with the exception of Joe. And I'm looking at it. If you've got 30 to commit to Ramsdale, back-to-back relegations, if you've got 50 for Ben White, 1 year in the Prem, you've got P's to spend 60 odd million on Maddison. It's like you have to, you know, 60, 70. So it's a madness, man.
Yeah, I can see that deal not happening. Man said 55 million on £1, and Willian, I'm pretty sure they'll reject that. I mean, they're saying Maddison wants to move, you know, and I don't like to look into these things, but they're saying Maddison took Leicester off his bio on social media. I know we've seen these things before, but if he wants to move, get the deal done, bruv. 60, 70 million, get it done.
We've been having men that have done this, man. Zaha done his bit. Suarez was in the papers once upon a time. You know, we've had he hasn't come out and said anything about his future. I know he's just become a father. There's probably a little bit of allow it, but he's doing all he can. I hear he wants to move. He feels it can raise his profile for England and things. You know, he wants it. We as fans want it. But again, it's down to Eddie to dot I's and cross T's. And for me, I'm not expecting Eddie to do an amazing work because you just can't do everything in one window. But I really did think this was a window for him, and it's still got ongoing to really put his mark on this thing, like him and his team, because he's not about it. Like, you know, it's a big ask in terms of ingoings, and for me, what would be more impressive, outgoings. So the Maddison thing comes down to, you know, putting the money down, giving them favourable terms for resale value and things, and just giving Leicester what they want. They've shown with every player they've sold, you want the player, pay the money or raise the funds. And are these things happening? Are we waiting for something? I don't know. Because again, you look at our squad and the 1-2 players that could make a money or something for us. I'm not saying sell Joe, but if we need to sell before we can buy, it don't really look like to us fans there's clarity over what's going on with Joe Willock, because I'm sure he wants to get on with things. I'm sure he wants some clarity. Maitland Niles was saying before, I want some clarity. What's going on with him? Like, and I'm not saying we haven't got the decisions, but to us fans, like you said, it just looks like a power league thing, just bare ringers. Like, you forget people are at this club. You know, for a minute, I've just been reminded Cedric plays for us. You know, someone reminded us Williams a footballer for Arsenal. You can exist here. You can exist here. You probably end up doing odd jobs around London, Coley and that. You know, I'm pretty sure Nene's probably put a lick of paint on a couple walls and that, you know, just to stay at the club and that. It's one of them ones.
I'm telling you, man. Big up Oyson, he says, big up Big C and DG from Ireland, but locked up in a hotel in Barcelona with COVID, and you two are getting me through it, man. Get well soon, bro.
Come on, get free, my guy.
You know what? It's interesting how you say that, man. I think serious questions have got to be asked of Edu as well as Arteta, because every time we have a situation, it never seems to get dealt with in an accordingly fashion. Like you just said there, Joe Willock's gone to Newcastle. He's done his thing. Newcastle want him. They're saying apparently they're willing to pay the money for him, even though they're short of cash.
They're broke, yeah.
Surely you should know at the end of the season, right, I know what we've got. We want to keep Joe Willock. I've got a plan for him. Or we're not going to keep him. Let's get the deal done quick and sell him to Newcastle. We didn't involve him in the first few games. Apparently had a little injury, but he was training, which made it look like he'd been left out. You're bringing him on in bits and spurts of games. Steve Bruce is saying they're not going to wait much longer. They're going to have to go for somebody else.
They can't afford to. They need to get planning, bro.
Why are we waiting around? Ainsley Maitland-Niles goes on loan. Do you want him or do you want to sell him? Get it done. Nelson Palace are after him. Like, why do we struggle so much to get these deals done in the market?
I don't know if it's a case of us being overstretched. As mad as we are, you just get the feeling with this club that whether it happens or not, they're trying something. Because as much as I call it incompetency and whatnot, as you said, because there's so many baffling questions, is there something developing? Like, in the club's eyes, you know, they're cautious in the sense of, I guess, we can't really let Joe go because, you know, Xhaka was going to go a second ago and we don't know if this target's going to get in. And fundamentally, that's the issue with the club. We don't just make a decision and double down on it. Obviously, you're not going to get everything right. We as Arsenal fans definitely know that, but make a decision. And for me, I can't believe that Joe doesn't want clarity over his future. On the surface, we're told Joe is a player for us. We want to keep him and things. Even with Xhaka, everything's still on the table. So just make decisions. And it's like, who is Arteta betting on? Because to me as a fan, it just looks like the last season's gone. We're just kind of forgetting about what certain players did, and then everyone gets another chance. I'm not saying that's wrong, but certain players can't take us further. You know, Brentford, I'm sure, you know, every player did their job in their own way, helping them get to the Championship. But I'm sure their gaffer or someone is going to chop a couple people. A couple people are not going to do the Prem thing because they're not levels. They can't take them on that journey. And it's like, we keep trying to pull everyone. And when if a ship's burning or something and you're trying to save everyone, you're going to end up burning or drowning, or something's going to happen to you. And that feels what we're doing. And as I said, this is where it comes down to Arteta as well, and also Edu, you know, your technical director. We need to get going. And for me, not to see any player of significance shifted in any way, there's issues. But we still have, the market's not closed yet, even though I'm very pessimistic.
Big up Omar, he said, let me just get his comment. He was talking about Leon Bailey to Aston Villa, big signing, Jamaican international. Obviously, they've brought him in, you know, knowing that Grealish is on the way up. I'm telling you, man, it's mad because Arsenal, at one stage, I think Chelsea, they were talking about 60, 70 million for him. I think Villa have got a bargain there at 30 mil.
I hope he does his thing, man. It's JA to the world and back. I have to say, there's got to be a reason the man they were on you first and now they're not on you again. But we're being positive, man. Someone needs to buy Bobby Reed as well. Yeah,
I'm telling you. He had a good season, though, Bailey, man. 15 goals in Bundesliga. Shane said, Curtis, have you seen the story that Onana pulled out of Lyon? I mean, they reckon that he pulled out because he had interest from elsewhere at the last minute. I mean, some people are saying Arsenal with a late bid. I see an Inter Milan link with him. I mean, what do you make of that situation? Obviously, he's banned until November. He's going to AFCON in January. Do you think that has probably put Arsenal off doing the deal?
It's techie. Like you said, there's a lot of factors with it. And is he significantly the keeper we need? I'm not saying he's not a good keeper. There's many factors. So it's probably that, because even if he signed for us, it'd be an issue because, like you said, he could not play. So, yeah, man, you know, I mean, they've clearly betted on Ramsdale and said, you know what, we're siding with Ramsdale and going with this 30 mil, if it is true. So, we're going to have to see, man. That's another thing, you know, we focus so much on Xhaka and Bellerin. I know we're told Leno is staying. We've even spoke on Joe, but what's happened in that regards? Like, it's crazy.
It's mad, man. Big up Josh Shaw, bro. He said, big up Curtis and DG. You can't even give our players away as a free toy in a box of cereal. Pictured Kolasinac and Weetabix, Torreira, Mini. Do you know what? He make big up for the super chat, bro, as always. And the support.
What an analogy.
Bro, I'm seeing Torreira in Spain, flying from Uruguay to Spain. And I'm like, this guy is not an Atletico Madrid player. What is going off? I mean, I read that Torreira was supposed to be back at Arsenal last week. They've obviously given him permission to go to Spain. Like, what do you think's happening with Torreira? They don't even ask him about him in the press conference.
This is why I have to hope that things are being done in the background, bro, because it's baffling. Like you're saying, allegedly, man are supposed to turn up for work. They're saying, nah, give me a couple weeks off or whatever. So it's concerning, you know. As a normal fan, I'm just thinking, what, is he going to a Spanish team then? Or is he trying to go to a Spanish team? Or is he doing some sort of thing to force a move, not returning like we heard with Harry Kane? I don't know, but it's another storyline that is unnecessary. And for me, as you said at the start, but we spent a good 20 minutes speaking from a tactical point of view. We don't need these tactical problems and these love dramas and storylines off the field. It's just long, man. Like, I just want to be able to focus on Arsenal and not the storylines and the Netflix series. And 1 minute, this player and Arteta are cool. Now this has happened. We go to Dubai and there's this problem. It's crazy, man. It's jarring is what it is.
It is. Josh says from Jamaica, enough love, Curtis and DG. Keep up the good work. Big up, bro. Brandon's with a super chat says, big up, Big C, DG. Just got him from work. Edu is a joke, man. I mean, what do you make of Aubameyang? We spoke about it on your show last week. I'm getting hammered on the streams because
me too, bro.
I'm team Aubameyang. I'm saying, listen, he's gonna come back. We might not get the prime Aubameyang, but we're getting a little 17, 18 league goals. This brother's missing 6 yards out headers harder to miss than score.
I didn't see it. I heard about it, so it'd be.
Yo, don't come with that Arsene Wenger business. You know, you had front row seats, bro. You saw it. You saw it clearly, bro.
I saw it clear as day, but I ain't seen nothing for the police statement. No comment all the way, bro. I don't know if it was Aubameyang. Must have been a catfish, man. It was Eddie or Balogun. I don't know.
Like, it was his brother, man. He sent his brother out, man. He had business to take care
literally,
of.
Man. It's a doppelganger. It's a rogue, but. On a serious note, it's scary, bro. Like, it's throughout the whole, you know, but even when Aubameyang scores, he's one of them, man. He misses them calamitous ones. We're used to it, but it scares me. Like you said, I'm team Aubameyang until the wheels fall off, man. I feel some of the fans don't own nothing because he's not doing his job, but I feel certain fans who were saying he's carrying the team and whatnot have just written him off already. So I'm going with him until the wheels fall off, but we can't afford to carry people, man. If he ain't doing it in the first 2-3 games, like you're not moving 34 games max, you got to get dropped, man. Like, I'm scared. But at the same time, what scares me more is that even though he might be declining all these things, we're not creating chances, bro. Like, we're not. So if a new striker signs, we're not creating nothing for them. We're ninth in terms of our attacking output. So Arteta has to arrest something, you know. Signing players is one thing. Actually finding a system is working, because many people forget you can't just sign a player or players or star players. They need to be able to apply themselves over a 38-game period. And I don't see that with my club. I don't see that with a lot of players. Every player we have signed goes through them patches and then they start getting infected with the madness where you see us just bottling and moving mad. So, boy, I want him to get back to it, but I'm shook, man. Right, see, and this is why I want him to get back, because the man them are on him about the peas. This is it. They're on him.
Look at these stats, man. No, it's hard.
He's on him.
Do you think that the fans are doing him a little bit harsh? Do you think he deserves a little bit more patience for what he's done?
Yeah, because they support Rebels. Let's be real. Some of our fans support some shit players and they're writing off Aubameyang. I'm not saying you can't criticize him. You can't say he shouldn't be dropped. You can't say he's not doing the business. I hear that, but it just feels like, man, I've just done a 180. It feels like when you watch them movies and it's like, you know, the drug dealer's up. He's got all the girls, all his friends around. The minute he goes prison or something, everyone just left him like, raw. Like, you're not just snaking Aubameyang like that. Like,
if I'm Aubameyang, I'm sitting there going, raw, you man have got Granit Xhaka signing new deals after 5 years of calamity. You know what I mean? You got Bellerin, you got El Neni and these, man. I carried you for 2.5. I had a bad 12 months and I'm finished. Man are calling him Sonogo and Odin Wengi and that in the chat, bro.
This is it. No, the game is the game. You're not doing the business. It happens, innit? Like, I remember last season, you know, even people were starting to get on Saka's back towards the end of the year. So, you know, you're never going to escape it. And you're never going to escape it with Arsenal fans. As I said, we shouldn't be carrying, man. But I'm going to support Aubameyang. But we do probably need to accept, if it continues or any now, that he has regressed and we have to use him differently. You know, Arteta's entitled to use him how he wants. But as a fan, just naively, when I'm seeing him dip down the left wing and make them tackles and I'm looking at him at 32, I'm like, have we run him into the ground? Are we running him into the ground? Do we have to rework? Because I was of the belief when Aubameyang got to this stage, he just become a fox in the box, a real fox in the box. You just make chances, you put them in.
100, bruv. I see this man tracking back Ziyech on Sunday. I said, well, what do you think's going to happen? This guy's legs are going to be finished within 6 months if he does that. It's mad, man. And Smooth's right, man. Be honest, guys. We all wanted him to sign the thing. We was all celebrating when that contract got signed. You can't escape it after 12 months.
But the wickedest thing, Curtis, do you remember? Sorry to cut you off. Do you remember just like the year before that, certain fans were saying to sell him? So it's like the fans are volatile, bro.
I think it's an Arsenal thing, innit? We've suffered for a while, man. Do you know what I mean? We're very emotional fans, man. You know, soon as people see a decline, get rid of him. They ain't got no patience. You know, don't matter what you did before, and that's how it is, man. You know, I remember there was man on Twitter arguing about. I think man was comparing Xhaka to Vieira at one stage. At that point, I said, "Yo, man,
you man are different, man.
Yeah, we're a different fan base." What do you make of this one, bro? About a war.
There's new hour rumors.
New hour rumors.
All right, we're back, baby.
Come on. Yeah, we don't mind them rumors, man. We chased it.
Right. That's one I'll prefer to be lied to, man. I love the hour thing. Hopefully this is loaded. You get me?
I mean, look at this. Hossam Aouar still wants Arsenal transfer this month with Leon's star agent stunned by the Gunners' James Maddison chase. When I read the full story, basically, Aouar's agent is saying Arsenal chased him the whole of last summer when he was worth 50 million, and he's saying he can go for 25. I don't understand why Arsenal aren't coming and getting the deal done, which, you know, like I said, with Arsenal, if it makes sense, it probably won't happen. He probably wants Arsenal. We don't want him for some reason. I'm with you on this one. 25 million. I'm getting this deal done today. Like I'm getting him on the Eurostar today, mate. Get to London quick.
Bare live streams. Trust me.
I know it's the Sun. Apologies, but there is some quotes in the story. So, I mean, who do you think? Do you think now that Arsenal are not going to sign a centre mid? They're just purely looking maybe for a number 10, a Maddison, a Odegaard, and that's it.
Yeah, I think because of Xhaka staying now, obviously the only thing that could change that is what business we was trying to do anyways, and if we still want to get it done, and obviously Partey's new injury. So I would like an 8. I hope they do it, but I think they're going to go for a 10 now with Xhaka staying, like you said. I think it's more for a number 10, and I don't find a problem with that, but you're already playing a losing game because, you know, 10s are not widespread. They're real organic poetry emotion number 10, so you need to have a system that gets the best out of them. In relation to our, like you said, get it done yesterday, my guy. Obviously, we have to take a pinch of salt, like somebody just said, with the scum and things. They could just be trying to get some clicks and remixes.
Yeah.
But cool. Hopefully, man. But to me, it just feels like we're overstretched because at a point, it's like we're trying to do Ben White, which we got over the line. Then we're going for Aouar. We're doing this with Inter. We're getting rid of that player. And again, I know Edu doesn't. Edu's obviously got a team that we don't see, but it just feels like we're overstretched. How much can you get done at once? It never feels like. Lately, we just complete one thing and then move on from there. We're just linked with a whole heap of stuff.
Yeah. Up there said FRR, he didn't want to come last year. I mean, I think he did want to come last year, but the numbers just didn't match. And Jorge said, got the feeling the midfield business is over, given that we haven't sold anyone. If that is the case, in my opinion, we need a right back over a striker. Please bring in Max. I mean, big up Jorge with a super chat. The problem is, though, if Bellerin stays, you got Chambers, you got Cedric, you potentially got Ainsley. To me, they ain't buying a right back either. I mean, to not buy a right back, and the only midfielder we've added is Lokonga. I do think Lokonga looks a talent, but I'm not sure he's of the level that we need at the moment. That, to me, is a disaster because I think most of us at the start of the season or the end of last season would have said, centre mid and right back is probably our two biggest priorities.
Oh God, even the year Partey came in.
Yeah. We probably needed 2 centre mids that year. So I'm baffled with the stuff that Arsenal are doing in this window.
Like you said, it's baffling, bro. Like it really is, especially addressing players' futures. Because again, I'm not saying to sell Chambers. I wouldn't mind him being a squad player, but a proactive team might say, you know what, we're trying to make surgery in our squad. There's never been a better time to probably get our £16 million back. There's never been a better time to sell a couple of them. And, it just feels like the only one who might leave, if that, based on the fact of what we're hearing, but he might sign a deal, is Bellerin, and that probably needs to be the one to go because you've got a centre mid and a centre back ahead of you. Again, what's going on with Maitland? And this is the thing, like there's been no clarity. I also have to, as much as I criticize the club, I have to demand how hard are these players fighting to get out of there? Because personally, if I'm Joe and I'm Maitland and I'm Eddie and things like that, some have rejected deals. I'm not really hearing what the club are doing, I'm at an important stage in my career. I'm saying to my agent, what am I bloody paying you for? You need to become a nuisance to this club and get me a move. I don't care if they want me to stay because they're trying to do this. Let's get a move done. To be fair, it looks a bit like that with Torreira, not with links, but, he's made abundantly clear, I'm really not trying to come back. So how much are they trying to force moves and things like that, especially the English lads, because Ainsley's talked about England, Joe's talked about England, and magic miracles can happen. But based on what we're seeing, are you going to get England at Arsenal? We don't even know if you're going to be in the match day squad. We don't even know what we're getting with the club. It's gazy.
And that's why it's mad, because when you look at it, we're clearly struggling to sell certain players, Kolasinac and players like that. So it makes it even more baffling that Newcastle want Willock, Roma want a Xhaka. We've heard links Inter Milan to Bellerin, but you haven't done any of those 3 deals when you've got interest for them players, where you've got, we're keeping so many players that I almost feel like we can't go and sign many more players because our squad is huge right now.
We're playing Europe. We're moving like we got Europe next year.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Like we're going World Club Cup and all sorts.
Do you know what I mean? Keenan with the super chat said, Mateus Pereira is 25 million. I know we all want Maddison, but we have so many positions to fill. I would rather have the money to lock down a right back, striker, and centre mid. Would you make? I mean, Pereira's a good player, man, but not really many links to him from us.
Yeah, man, he's a good player. I would take him as well. He's better than nothing, but he seems like he's got his heart set on Dubai and things like that, or Middle East or wherever. To be fair, he said I want to leave West Brom, so it could be an avenue. But I'd imagine, rightly or wrongly, the club must have scouted him and they've just said he's not a target. Like what Curtis said, we ain't not been too many links. You know, anything can happen, but.
I think he's doing that Oscar thing, man. He said, "Listen, I don't care about football trophies. I want the bag. I'm retiring.
Need the peas, man.
Need the peas, man. Come from them favelas, man. I need that P." Over 1,800 of you in here, man. Make sure you like the video. Let's get 1,000 likes. Go and subscribe to DG. I will put the link in the title. I did put the hyperlink, but apparently it's not working. Let's get you to 40K ASAP. Akeem said, Xhaka has to be third choice centre mid, straight squad fodder. I mean, if that was the case, if they moved on El Neni, you've got Partey who's number one, Lokonga is a squad player probably, and you bring in another one. So if you signed at Aouar Basuma or something and you've got Xhaka and Lokonga as 3 and 4, that's not too bad. Even though I wouldn't want to keep Xhaka, we can get a head around that. What my worry is, you're giving Xhaka 120 for 4 years. You're not putting him on the bench. You're starting him. You're starting him next to Tom.
He's not going to accept it. He ain't going to accept it. Would you accept sitting on the bench? Like, imagine they said all of that, give you the deal on that, but you have to sit on the bench. Again, I actually don't know if Switzerland have qualified for the next World Cup next year, but I'm not sitting on the bench in this sort of season. I want to, keep doing, and it seems like I've got a bit of respect on my name based on the Euros and whatnot. I want to play. I'm not saying El Nene's happy to sit on the bench, but I don't think it's the same situation. I think Xhaka will make up a fuss, and we hear he's a big character. So whether I think he's good enough to be making a fuss or not, you can already see how the story gets. So he's playing.
What do you make of the style of play? Because I'm constantly watching this Arsenal team under Arteta, and I'm like, I feel like he had his best time as Arsenal manager probably when we played 3 at the back, the FA Cup winning run at the end of that season. He's obviously gone with this 4-2-3-1. It looks as if he wants to play like possession-based football. It doesn't seem to work to me. We're always look like when teams set us up, we get caught in the trap. You saw Bellerin's mistake, Leno giving the ball away, Elneny getting caught. What do you think the style of play is, or how do you think we should play?
I mean, I'm an Arsenal fan, bro. We all want to see attacking football. For me, regardless of what Arteta wants to do, I want to see being on the front foot because I think we're very reactive, even against teams we shouldn't be. I appreciate the fact that he thinks about the opposition and things, but it feels like we've gone from Wenger, who would not really do that historically, to some two individuals now who have done that too much. So I'd say, keep doing that, but find balance. You need to be able to offer something. Teams that with worse resources than us have given the Leicesters, the Cities, the teams above us, more of a fight. So I'd say I need to see that. I have to, I believe the style of play is what we saw in the FA Cup when we won it, what we've seen, when we beat Chelsea, the underdog thing, the 3 at the back, being reactive, reacting to what they're going to do. We might get 1 or 2 fine margins we can exploit. So I'd say that. Obviously, you see bits and pieces, an inverted fullback here and there, certain midfielders dropping, they're playing out from the back, but it's not enough. I feel I have to force it. We'd have to go watch them tactical videos and see all fancy analysis of things. I don't evidently know what Mikel Arteta's Arsenal is about. Like you said, 3 at the back. For me, that's your brand, innit? 3 at the back, reactive sort of football and exploiting it from then. But saying all of that, the man in the semi-finals, he was going with a false 9 and things. So I don't know what it is. And I feel we're in a double whammy in that I don't think he trusts enough of these players. I don't think the players trust each other. I don't think the manager trusts them. That's why he thinks so much defensively. But the flip side is he's put his trust in some players that should not be trusted. Certain players were telling us they're captains because they used to have the key ahead of their older brother. These are not people for these sort of things. Like, putting people in unqualified positions, it's mad.
Do you worry for Arteta in terms of... there you go, straight up and down. Yeah, listen, you know me, and we've spoke. I'm not a big fan of Arteta, but I have said, I'm going to be patient and see what happens. You know, it's a new season, but I worry for him. I just think with the fans back in the stadium, the way we're playing, the way this transfer window is panning out at the moment, I think his job is going to be on the line, man. I'm worried. I'm worried about Arsenal this season. How are you feeling? Are you thinking again, same old, same old?
I mean, I done a video about it. On one hand, I'm blindly optimistic. Obviously, regardless of how poor we've been and these things, the optimism, all of that sort of stuff, hope we do business. But I mean, you'd have to be a fool beyond blind optimism to expect anything different because we're seeing the same sort of thing. So I worry for him. I worry for Aubameyang. I worry for Xhaka. I worry for everyone. You know, we can't afford to carry people. You know, for me, anyone that's our first task is starting off well in August and getting to the end of the year. Anyone who's not pulling their weight, they either need to be dropped, sacked, or whatever. So I worry because he's opened up a even bigger hole of criticism. He said preseason, I need preseason, I need preseason. I hope to us fans, it's like we can't see what he's doing, and them man know exactly what they're doing when the season starts. Because to me, I don't know what we're on, and it's not going to look well. I like you said, like that comment said, he could be out of his job in December. It could be Gacy for everyone because no one can be carried by this football club anymore. That's why we're in this mess. It's mad.
I think the thing with me, DG, is like, you know, even in seasons where we've struggled or, you know, we've landed in Europa League or whatever, I've always felt like there was a plan. They were trying to do something in that summer to get us out of it. Even last season, we won the FA Cup, Aubameyang contract, Partey came in, we were chasing there was some optimism there. I'm sitting there right now and I'm going, I don't know what the club are trying to do. I don't see a club that is even trying to compete for top four. It looks like we're just going through the motions and just ticking over the books. I mean, I can't see much more than 8th, 7th, you know, something around there again at the moment, unless they do a madness between now and the end of the window.
That's it. And for me, more importantly than the signings, until the mentality collectively changes, because you man have to be at it 38 times. You know, I don't want to see what I typically see in that you're effing up against Leeds, against Southampton, against Palace. You're occasionally beating, you know, Chelsea, and we can laugh about it in that game, but they're riding off into the sunset with another Champions League. You know, United got into the Champions League as well. We beat Spurs like they beat us, but again, it's nothing to be proud of. They finished ahead of us. Now, these are the sort of things, I don't know how, I'm not going to say the players aren't prideful, bro, but I don't think they want it enough. It's like, you know, everyone would like to be financially free. Not everyone wants to install discipline. I don't think they want it enough. I don't think they're as harsh on themselves. I don't think they really understand how short a footballing career is. And until they do it, we can forget about tactics and all of those sort of things. So, like you said, it's more of the same until I see something different by this club. And you can't blame anyone for that because, you know, how can I place anything but blind optimism and expect a turnaround? It doesn't make sense. It's crazy.
I wrote down this now, just a basis of our team at the moment. So Leno in goal. When everyone's fit, you're probably looking at Gabriel and Ben White centre back with Tierney at left back. 3 of the back 4, I would say I'm reasonably happy with it. In midfield, Thomas Partey, he hasn't got a partner at the moment unless Lokonga shocks us. Smith Rowe in the 10, Pepe and Saka out wide, and probably realistically it will be Aubameyang up front at the moment. That's not a bad team. That's not a bad team if you have a better right back and a better centre midfielder next to Thomas Partey. It doesn't feel like the team is a million miles away. Maybe there are weaknesses in the squad. If you put a quality right back and a quality centre mid there and you get more out of Pepe and Aubameyang and people like that, it's not miles off. But how come we're making it so difficult? Like, is Arteta not getting enough out of the players that we've actually got there already?
I don't think he's getting enough out of them. I don't think he's getting enough out of himself. And I think everyone at the club isn't getting enough out of themselves. You know, the technical director, again, I can only comment on what I see as a team. I don't get the vibe, Edu. I'm not saying you don't want to do a good job, but I don't get the vibe you want to be the best you can be. You want to achieve excellence. And I place a bit of that, or a lot of it, is because Kroenke doesn't want this club to be, you know, the envy of world football, which should be the impossible dream. That's what we should be. We should be aspiring to be like the elite. I don't think the players want to be the best among the world collectively. I'm not sure what the gaffer is doing because there's no clarity, bro. There is no clarity. I don't get the vibe that anyone wants to seize the future. It just seems like we're just existing. It's like, I know football's a job and it's a wonderful job, but it just feels like it's just a job. We'll just turn up 9 to 5, kick a bit of ball, and then just bust out. It's done. Like, I don't get I know they care, but as a fan, I don't see it, man. I don't see anything changing, and I just think they accept nonsense.
This is a quote from ESPN. Apologies, it doesn't say who said it, but it's from ESPN yesterday. The guy said, Arsenal was a club where you used to go to become a legend, one of the world's best players. He says now a young player goes to Arsenal as a stepping stone for a move to a bigger club, or an older player goes there to see out his career on a big contract. They are not getting the best players in the prime of their career. I mean, is that what you believe we are now? A younger player like Gabriel will come to Arsenal to eventually go to a Barcelona, or you've got a Willian who comes at the back end, gets a big contract and chills out?
I still think it's running out, but I still think we've got this little bit of prestige, this Wenger's Arsenal and the Arsenals before. It's running out as we all get older and things, but I still think people want to sign for it because they still have the facade like we kind of cling on to of what we used to be, what we've kind of offered into the game, even though we've been a joke of a club by our own standards, collecting 1-2 FA Cups here and there. But at the same time, that's not too dissimilar. And I do think it kills me to say accept it, but I do think, we're not Barcelona, we're not these clubs. We need to kind of accept where we kind of are, and that, all right, cool, you want to use this as a stepping stone, help us get into Europe and things will take care of it. Because I believe, honestly, Martinelli, these sort of guys, if they develop, or scarily, if they keep developing and we keep doing this, they are going to get moves from, I'm not going to say clubs, but bigger clubs. So if we can use them to help us now, there's nothing wrong with that. The one that scares me is that people are coming here for a payday. I don't mind if you're coming here to do serious things and you want to get paid, because we all like money. Who doesn't? But it's what you said. It's too easy. The standards are on the floor. The basic standards of a successful team are on the floor. Have you noticed we keep saying, they're a big voice off in the change room, they're good, they're good for the young players. They stand up to be counted. They work hard. These are things that are givens. You shouldn't be praised for that. And I find myself praising them. I say people run around, put in the shift, get stuck in. Those are the minimums. You want to aspire in your YouTube channel and get somewhere. So you're here every day streaming. And I know you get praised for it, but I'm sure on the other hand, you recognize that's what man need to do if I want to get it somewhere. And these sort of things, the basic components, because I'm at the point now, of course, I'm jealous of all the teams that are winning big trophies and things. But and with respect to Leeds, big club, I'm not saying these clubs are not big clubs, but I look at Leeds, I look at Villa, I look at Leicester. I'm seeing everyone singing from the same hymn sheet, from players to the fans, all components. I'm seeing serious things. I'm seeing basic camaraderie for their fellow, their brothers in arms. It's an army thing. And I just think we're too divided. We're just everything that I don't want to see. I do think there's a bit of fight and spirit and these sort of things, but it's not levels. As I said, the standards on the floor, bro. Like on the floor. The basic self standards of these players as well.
Apologies, man. Some people said there was an echo last time I was talking. I turned the mic down. I mean, listen, I'm a Nottingham boy originally, and I speak to a lot of Nottingham Forest fans there, and I go, how did you lot become? They were champions of Europe back to back.
Bullies.
Now they've been in the championship, I think, for like 17 years or something like that now. And people say, when they were at the top, they didn't build on it. They just sat there in the success, and it just fell apart gradually. I almost think Arsenal are doing something similar. Obviously, it hasn't taken us to the championship yet, but we just kind of got too comfortable in that fact of we're Arsenal. You can't keep walking around saying we're Arsenal. You've got to actually do something to show everyone that you're Arsenal.
You said it there. For a number of years, let's be real, it's been a facade. When you look past the prestige and, the forefathers of this club and everyone who's really come to this club and done good things, when you look past that, it's not too dissimilar from a Sunday League club, with what we see as fans. So, of course, we've got too complacent. That year, for me, alarm bell should have rang. Do you remember there was that one year where it really looked like Spurs were going to finish ahead of us? They really looked like it. And somehow, I can't remember the year, but we twanged it. That's when alarm bell should have started ringing. Even when we went out of the Champions League, we probably thought, we've been in it 20 odd years. Everyone's got to be out of it sometime. It's like, there's no clarity. You look at that club and there's not one person off the field you look at and you think you're Mr. Arsenal. And that's what scares me. I don't look at Edu and feel that. I don't feel that with Arteta. I definitely don't feel that with the owners. I don't even believe half the things Vinay says. I just see you as a puppet. I don't even believe you really and truly. And I think you get hung up to dry. So until we see people, it's a myth, bro. Because at least Chelsea can say we've got Marina and things like this. And there's been other examples. We ain't got nothing like that. Or the people that are that, they're not doing the business.
Big up Fran FFTV said, yes, boys, sorry I'm late, I'm driving. Big up, bro. Do you know what? It's one of them, innit? It's like we're fortunate in a way that we've got our Arsenal history, we've got our memories from the past. For this younger audience now, they haven't really seen a majorly successful Arsenal, the odd FA Cup, but they probably haven't seen Arsenal win a title. I genuinely believe that Arsenal are in danger of losing a whole generation of supporters now, because I'm seeing Man City shirts now. I'm seeing more Chelsea shirts. You know, when I was a kid, bro, Man United, Arsenal was dominant.
You used to get called a glory hunter for supporting my club when I was in primary. Madness.
Come on. Bro, when you walked in with that 14 Henri on the back, you know what I'm saying? You was a serious guy. You know what I'm saying?
You was electrifying, mom. You was Ric Flair sort of levels of sorts, man. Like, you was
you know what I mean? Every man was pulling them socks above their knees, man.
Literally, everyone was doing knee slides. Oh, Thierry. Everyone wanted to be Thierry, man. And that's it. Man. Like, that's ironically, like you said, with the younger sort of fans. I said it in the live stream on my channel earlier today. It's like, it's sad, but certain people have only ever known this Emirates Cup thing. I mean, this Emirates Stadium thing is quite sad, you know. And now we're looking at it, you know, we're just probably riding off the Thierry Henry and Bergkamp and Ian Wright wave. You know, fans are researching about them, getting to know about them, learn the history, and then they're becoming fans, and then just getting zanged, like just getting born into what we are. So I'd say the best thing is to just be a football neutral now. If you ain't got a club, just be a neutral, man. It's a myth, man. It's a myth. Admire the players and that, but it's a madness, man.
It's hard supporting a club. Mr. Pad said sentiment killed the club too. Wenger should have went earlier, and Arteta getting the job based off him playing for us, etc. Got to stop being nice. I mean, yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one. Run the likes up, people. 1,900 of you in here. I'm going to get out of here shortly anyway. DG has got a stream at 4 o'clock. Do you know what was interesting? On this day in 1999, we sold this man to Real Madrid. Still to this day, you know, I bring this guy up a lot. This is I think he's one of the least talked about best players that we've had at Arsenal. He's one of the best strikers I've seen at Arsenal. Look at this guy, bro. Gunman settings, you know, Super Nick.
What a player, man. And the profit we made. Like, that's when we used to do serious business.
We sold him to...
And we found a replacement after he went. Serious business. Like my man's account, throwback Arsenal. That's what it's looking like at this moment in time. I have to follow that.
We sold him for 23 million and we bought Thierry Henry and a training ground.
You see what I'm saying? But that's big Arsene Wenger, that is, mate. You see, that was Mr. Arsenal. I know he needed to step down and I know he was mad, but at least you had someone with a mandate of doing things. Now I look at it, it's a madness. He needed to step down, and that's the thing as well. We over-relied on a manager who came here and then became everything and then we had no one else to move it. We can't have one single fragment of a club. It's like Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are never going to live or die if, I don't know, Khan or whoever is there decides to leave the club. They're still going to keep going, and we stopped being a club when, you know, Wenger never stopped losing. He lost David Dean, and, you know, David Dean weren't there to control his sort of madness and ensure that it didn't go too much and whatnot. And then you know what happened with that after that, man. And we're here today, innit?
You know what? Just quickly, because I've been promising the people a Wenger stream, and I'm gonna do it at the start of next week. I might even need you on that, you know, because I know you've got some good opinions on Wenger.
I love the guy, man.
I know you do, and that's why I might need you on for balance, man. You know, do you know what? I love Wenger as well, but I've got mixed emotions on him. But do you think, just quickly, that he is a part of the reason that we're in this predicament now? Look at the pain in man's face.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cap, man. Yeah, because obviously, like I said, he should have stepped down in 2014 and just left after the FA Cup. I just feel, because again, there was no one to pull him on his madness. There was no one that was also Mr. Arsenal, so he was left to his own devices, and I feel he ultimately failed because he stopped making the right decisions for Arsenal and started making them for Wenger. Like, it became a crash. He gave El Nene, Giroud and Coquelin contracts, for example, for no reason once upon a time. But yeah, man, he is part of why we're here. In the same way, he's part of all the goodness, man. He can't do my guy too dirty, man.
No, do you know what? Man saying it. No, I don't hate Wenger at all. Definitely.
That's strong. You can't
no Arsenal fan can hate Wenger. Do you know what? It almost, when he left, I was I was like, there was a relief. Like, yes, we're going into a new chapter. I just think we needed change. But now we're here, and I can't believe I'm even saying this. Like, we're almost in such a bad place. I'm like, I would rather have Wenger here right now than what I'm seeing. Because Wenger with Pepe and then man there, Pepe would be scoring 15. He had Walcott scoring 20, fam.
Guendouzi be playing, Saliba be playing, Maitland-Niles would have shut up about the right back thing. William wouldn't be here. Wenger was on your too expensive thing. It could have been calm. But that's because the club's moving mad. Like, I'm even catting out for Emery again. Thinking, you know what, his defensive thing wasn't so bad. Like, he was playing 2 up front. Aubameyang this. That's because we're moving mad. Like,
desperation, man, Mr. J. Desperation. I wanted Wenger out, but right now I'd rather watch good football and lose 4-3. You know what I mean?
Now we're just, we're just sitting back and, man, you see what we are.
Yeah, I do miss Wenger ball. That's the one thing, man. We were stringing passes together, man. But it is what it is. And now I'm definitely going to need you for that stream. I'm going to bring you
this, man.
To do this. But no, big up, bro. Appreciate it. 1,900 in here. Make sure you go and subscribe to DG's. Close to 40,000. Let's get him there. Subscribe to my channel. Like the video. Let the people know, man. What else you got going on today?
Head over to my Twitch channel, Deluded Gooner, because 4 p.m. I'm gonna do like a neutral stream. If there's any of, or someone's put the link there, Love Prince, he's one of my mods. We're gonna speak about any other Arsenal news. We can do a little recap, but I'm just gonna really just do a neutral thing. Jack Grealish is going City and those sort of things, man. So yeah, if you're on Twitch, you know where to go, innit?
Yeah. Big up, bro. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Usual settings, people. Big up everyone in the comments. Smash a like, subscribe.
Come on.
I'll see you tomorrow. Big up DG for coming through.
Come on.